If someone told you that just by cutting out 3 everyday foods, you could look 10, 20, or even 30 years younger, would you believe them? I didn't. Not at first. But one morning, I walked into my usual coffee shop, and the young cashier looked at me and said, "Sir, what's your secret? Your skin looks smoother than mine." I laughed, but deep down, I knew exactly what had changed. At 62, I used to feel heavy, sluggish, and honestly old. My face looked tired, and I started avoiding the mirror. But after I stopped eating just 3 specific foods, things I use have almost every day, everything changed. In this video, I'm going to share the truth. 3 common foods that silently speed up aging. What I eat instead to feel more energized and youthful. And the best part, waking up each morning feeling light, clear, and alive, like I'm 30 again. But first, let me ask you something. Are you ready to let go of the things that are slowly making you older, day by day? 1. White bread and refined carbs. For years, I thought feeling tired after a meal was just part of getting older. I'd eat my morning toast or sandwich for lunch, and by afternoon, I'd feel like I needed a nap. My skin looked dull. My energy felt flat. I told myself, that's just life in your 60s. But I was wrong. One day, I went in for a regular checkup. The doctor looked over my blood work, paused, then looked up at me. "You're walking the line of pre-diabetes," he said. "And it's not just age. It's what you're eating." That hit me hard. See, I've been eating white bread pretty much my whole life. Toast with breakfast, sandwiches with lunch, a roll or 2 at dinner. It was comforting, familiar, and I never gave it much thought. But after that doctor visit, I went home and started reading. Really reading. Not the flashy health headlines, but the science behind aging, insulin, and inflammation. And what I found shocked me. White bread, along with other refined carbs like pasta, crackers, and pastries, isn't just empty calories. It causes a rapid spike in blood sugar, which forces your body to release a surge of insulin. Over time, that constant roller coaster of sugar highs and crashes leads to something much deeper than weight gain. It causes inflammation. It damages collagen. It literally ages your skin and your organs from the inside out. That explains so much. Why my skin looked grayer, why I felt bloated, why my joints ached more than usual. It wasn't just getting older. It was what I was putting into my body every single day. So I made a change. Not a crazy, overnight transformation, just one simple swap to start. I replaced white bread with whole grain, sprouted bread. I also started cutting back on things like white rice and sugary cereals, and I added more vegetables, healthy fats, and proteins to keep me full. And something surprising happened. Within just 2 weeks, I noticed I wasn't crashing in the afternoon anymore. I didn't feel like I needed a nap by 3 p.m. My energy stayed steady throughout the day, and my skin, it started to look healthier, brighter, like I'd gotten some of my old self back. A month in, I ran into an old friend I hadn't seen in a while. She stared at me for a second, then said, "What did you do? You look younger." That was the first time in years anyone had said that to me. And all I had done was stop eating something I'd never even questioned before. Looking back now, I wish I had understood sooner. Growing older doesn't have to mean growing worse. We don't have to accept fatigue, dull skin, and slow mornings as the price of aging. Sometimes it's not time that's making us old. It's the food we eat every day. I'm not saying you can never have a slice of bread again. Life is about balance. But I will say this, when I made that one change, I felt better. I looked better. And most importantly, I began to believe in something I hadn't felt in years. Hope. Hope that maybe 60 isn't the beginning of the end. Maybe it's just the start of something better. So if you've ever felt heavy or drained after a meal, if you've ever looked in the mirror and wondered where that glow went, if you've ever felt like this is just how it is now, I want you to know you can change that, one small choice at a time. For me, it started with letting go of white bread. Maybe for you it starts here. If you've ever felt that afternoon crash after a meal, or noticed your skin feeling more tired than it should, comment, "I feel that," or "Me too." I'd love to hear your story, because you're not alone in this, and sharing is how we grow stronger together. And remember, your body isn't punishing you. It's trying to talk to you. You just have to start listening. 2. Processed meats and hidden preservatives. I used to love a good ham sandwich, or those little sausages I'd fry up on Sunday mornings. Salami, bacon, deli turkey, you name it. They were quick, tasty, and honestly, they just made life easier. But what I didn't realize was they were quietly making me feel older, stiffer, and sadder. Let me explain. About a year ago, I started waking up feeling sore. Not just stiff like I'd slept wrong. No, this was different. My fingers felt swollen. My knees ached going up the stairs. And there was this strange puffiness in my face I couldn't shake. I thought maybe it was arthritis creeping in. Then something unexpected happened. My daughter came over for dinner one night. She brought along a friend, nutritionist around 40, bright smile, sharp eyes. As we all sat down, I proudly served my go-to meal, grilled cheese with turkey slices and tomato soup. Classic, right? But as she took a bite, she politely asked, "Do you eat processed meat often?" "Yeah," I shrugged. "Pretty much every day." "Is that bad?" She smiled kindly and said, "Not bad, but might be slowing you down." That conversation stayed with me. The next day, I did some reading, and what I found made me feel both surprised and a little angry. You see, processed meats, things like ham, bacon, sausages, deli meats, aren't just meat. They're loaded with preservatives, especially nitrates and nitrites. These chemicals help them last longer on shelves, but in the body, they do something much worse. They increase oxidative stress, which means they promote inflammation, damage cells, and speed up aging from the inside out. Suddenly, it all clicked. The joint pain, the puffiness, the brain fog I thought was just aging might actually be a reaction to what I was eating every day. And not just any food, food I thought was safe, even convenient. Even more alarming, some studies have linked regular processed meat consumption with higher risks of heart disease, colon cancer, and cognitive decline. No one had ever told me this. Not my doctor, not the labels on the package. Just a quiet warning from a stranger who cared enough to speak up. So I made a choice. I didn't throw everything out. I just began small. I swapped the deli turkey for fresh roasted chicken. I replaced sausage with avocado and eggs. I started reading labels, and if it had ingredients I couldn't pronounce, I left it on the shelf. And again, things began to change. Within weeks, the morning stiffness started to fade. The puffiness around my eyes lessened. Even my mood felt lighter, like a fog had lifted. I'm not saying it was magic, but I'm saying it mattered. And the craziest part? I didn't miss those old foods like I thought I would. I discovered that real food, fresh, clean food, actually made me feel full, satisfied, and more in tune with my body than I'd felt in years. You know, getting older is hard enough. But when you add foods that fuel inflammation, that mess with your hormones and damage your cells, you're basically putting your foot on the gas pedal of aging. We don't realize it because it happens slowly. One sandwich at a time. One breakfast sausage at a time. One shortcut that slowly chips away at how alive we feel. So let me ask you this. When's the last time you really felt good after a meal? Not full. Not okay. I mean clear-headed, energized, alive. If it's been a while, maybe it's not just your age. Maybe, like me, you've been feeding your body something it's trying to reject. And trust me, your body will always tell you the truth. You just have to pause and listen. I'm not here to tell you to throw away everything you love. I still enjoy bacon, maybe once every few months as a treat. But now I know it's not worth the daily price. Now when I've tasted what real vitality feels like. If you've ever felt foggy, swollen, or stiff for no reason. If you've ever opened your fridge and wondered what's actually good for you anymore, I invite you to try this. Go 2 weeks without processed meats. Replace them with simple proteins, grilled chicken, eggs, lentils, fish. Give your body a chance to reset, and then just feel what happens. Because you deserve to feel good in your skin again. You deserve mornings without pain. You deserve a body that moves like it used to, and food that helps, not hurts. If you've ever had a wait a minute moment with food, share in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's help each other. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about waking up and choosing better, one small meal at a time. 3. Sugar and hidden sweets. I used to think I didn't have a sweet tooth. I rarely ate candy. I didn't keep cookies in the house. I even passed on cake at birthdays sometimes. So when someone mentioned sugar might be aging me, I laughed. I said, "Sugar? Come on, I hardly eat sweets." But then came the wake-up call. It happened one night after dinner. I was watching TV, feeling that usual sleepy slump when my granddaughter walked into the kitchen and grabbed the ketchup bottle. Out of curiosity, I picked it up and glanced at the label. There it was, sugar, second ingredient. That moment opened my eyes. I began checking labels, and suddenly I saw it everywhere. In the pasta sauce, in my healthy granola bars, in my morning yogurt, even in the bread I was eating. Turns out, sugar isn't just in desserts. It's hidden in foods we don't even think of as sweet. And the more I read, the more alarmed I became. Here's what I learned. Sugar, especially added sugars, doesn't just give you a blood sugar spike. It attaches to proteins in your body in a process called glycation. This damages collagen and elastin, two things that keep your skin firm and smooth. Translation: sugar makes your skin wrinkle faster, makes your joints creak sooner, ages your organs quietly from the inside out. But it doesn't stop there. I also found out that sugar fuels inflammation. Chronic inflammation, even low grade, is a silent driver of everything from heart disease to memory loss. And I have been feeding it every single day without even knowing it. I thought back to the little things. The flavored coffee creamer I loved in the morning. The barbecue sauce I slathered on chicken. The fruit yogurt that said low fat on the front but had more sugar than a candy bar. I wasn't cheating with sweets. I was just eating what I thought was normal. But that normal was wearing me down. I remember waking up with dry skin, dull eyes, low energy. I blamed age. Now I know it was sugar sneaking into my life and dragging me down. So I made a choice. I didn't go extreme. I didn't quit sugar cold turkey. That would have been too much. Instead, I started reading labels, really reading them. If sugar or corn syrup was in the first few ingredients, I put it back. I swapped flavored yogurt for plain Greek yogurt with fresh berries. I traded my creamer for oat milk and a dash of cinnamon. I made my own pasta sauce with real tomatoes, garlic, olive oil, and herbs. And something incredible started to happen. The brain fog, it lifted. The sluggish feeling after meals, gone. Even my face looked less puffy, more awake. One morning I looked in a mirror and thought, hey, I almost look refreshed. But the biggest change? My cravings. Once I cut down on sugar, the constant hunger, the need for snacks, the 3 p.m. crash, they disappeared. My body started asking for real food, and I started listening. One afternoon, I was sitting with a neighbor, sipping tea. She looked at me and said, "You look different lately. Lighter, brighter. Did you do something new?" I smiled. "I stopped eating hidden sugar," I said. She raised her eyebrows. "Is that all?" I nodded. Turns out, that was enough. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up everything sweet forever. I still enjoy a piece of dark chocolate now and then. But now it's intentional. It's a treat, not a habit. Because when I was eating sugar without knowing it, I was also aging without knowing it. Losing energy without understanding why. And I'll tell you this, the day you take control of sugar is the day you start taking control of how you feel, how you age, how you live. So let me ask you something. Do you often feel tired after meals? Do you get headaches, mood swings, or that afternoon energy crash? Do you feel like your skin is aging faster than it should? If so, sugar might be playing a bigger role than you think. Try this. For the next 5 days, track everything you eat and look for added sugar. Look beyond just candy and desserts. Check sauces, dressings, cereals, drinks. It's sneaky, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. And if you've had your own hidden sugar moment, something that shocked you, share it in the comments. You might help someone else wake up too. Because here's what I've learned. Growing older is not the same as growing old. And sometimes the smallest things, like a teaspoon of sugar in your salad dressing, can make the biggest difference in how fast that happens. Choose awareness. Choose energy. Choose yourself. You're never too old to change what you eat. But more importantly, you're never too old to feel alive again. If you made it this far, thank you. That tells me something about you. You're ready for change. Not tomorrow, not next year, but now. Here are the 3 things I changed. I gave up white bread and switched to whole grains. I stopped drinking soda and chose water and natural drinks. I said goodbye to hidden sugar and welcomed fruits and nuts. I didn't need fancy creams or surgery to feel younger. I just needed to care for my body gently every single day, and you can do the same. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you you're getting old to start living young. You choose that today. If something in this video spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you care about. And if you want more simple ways to feel better, move easier, and live younger each day, make sure to follow this channel. I'll see you in the next video where we keep living strong, living happy, and most of all, living young from the inside out.